Hi there. No, I've been saying I'll do some new videos for a while now, and I actually am going to plan to do them tomorrow. And what did I want to do? I was recently hearing, talking to a person about a person that has celiac and fibromyalgia, and it's going to be a video on who not to be during recovery. The kind of person you want to avoid being, because it's ridiculous. I was going to do a video on NoFap update, on my whole experience of NoFap and everything. I was going to do a video on depersonalization again, because I've learned a lot more since then. And I'm going to do a video on something that's a secret for now. So we'll see what people think of it. Oh yeah, and I think I might, I always say it, I don't want to say it just in case I don't do it. Hi Oscar, hi Ryan. It's okay. Hi Stefan. Yeah, I'm okay actually. How are you doing? Hi Lewis. Actually, Stefan, you've done videos on depersonalization, haven't you? If I remember correctly. I have a book that you would be interested in reading. Actually, I would suggest most people would read it, because it's been very interesting for me, at least, and it's very interesting as well for things like depersonalization. Anyway, it goes into, it's not based on that. Have you read it already? It's called The Path to Self-Realization, and it's by a person called Karen Horney, and it's probably 60, 70 years old now. It's not about depersonalization, but it has a part where she talks about it, and how one of the main aspects of depersonalization is, well, one of the aspects is alienation from self. And it was really interesting how people can do things that they, say you, even from the simple things of doing something you really hate, like a job you hate continuously, is going against your inner feelings, and you turn them off over time because you kind of have to. And it just talks about how the shoulds of our life, like the things we should do or the things we feel we should do, constantly mount up on top of each other until we kind of lose ourselves a bit. That's just one aspect of it. I won't go into it fully, but it's very interesting. So you can do something that you hate every day of a job, and it literally destroys your soul. It actually literally kind of is. Do you see what I'm trying to say? It's very interesting. You should read it. Yeah, I'll type it now. Yeah, yeah. There's so many different ways of looking at it. It's just another aspect of helping you with recovery from that. Yeah, it's really interesting. I was looking, I don't know where I was looking. I was looking at a book on Amazon, and there was a comment that said, this book's not the best when it comes to this subject, check this book out. And I looked at it and I was like, seems interesting. I bought it, and I went through half the book in less than a week, and I was like, wow, this is, it really makes you think about yourself. Like, how many things in your life or feel, things you think about, or things you believe in, how much of it is actually you? I'll let you read it. It's incredibly interesting. Also, it talks about people becoming who they feel they should be. Oh, right, yeah, neurosis and human health. I think that's the one. Where is it? One sec. Yeah, that's, oh, neurosis and human growth. The struggle towards self-realization. Yeah, it's really, really worth reading for absolutely anyone, to be honest. And you start to pick up what this book is showing you is this person's like 30 years in psychoanalysis, and you read this book and you start to pick it up from, like, you pick up people's behavior patterns, and you just start seeing people differently, you know, their choices and stuff. And it's really interesting. James, what do you say in response to the thousands of people who say there is no cure, recovery isn't possible for most? I'd love to hear you rant about this. Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to. What was I gonna do? I was gonna do a video response to this unrest film. They're people that just eat sugary cakes and coffee, and they just all sit around circle jerk how about nothing they can do can change their situation, and they'll wait for the establishment to find a cure for them. What do I say to people? Honestly, everyone feels like that at some point. I was ill, like most of you know, for years and years, and I honestly believe the same thing. But what does that achieve? What does being negative achieve to you at the end of the day? All it does is make your life worse. What do you achieve by saying, there's no cure, there's nothing I can do? Okay then. Cry about it then. What you gonna do about it? What, you know? It just makes no sense. You can recover. There's plenty of recovery stories on YouTube. You know, obviously, you can't just copy someone 100% and expect exactly the same results. You know, everyone's different. Everyone has more major weaknesses. Someone might have a really bad situation in real life. Someone might have a really poor gut health from years of abuse. I don't know. Like this, you have to kind of figure it out for yourself. But it's looking at the whole picture, doing everything you can towards recovery, and hoping, you know, just believing in your body. It's really amazing what the body can achieve. What else can I say? I think it's just like, you can watch my old videos. I rant about this a lot. I had a lot more passion about hating people like that before, but now I'm just like, if you want to believe there's no cure, okay, my channel is not for you. But if you're here and you really are interested in doing everything you can towards recovery, then that's awesome. I have a question. I'm just about to read a book, Dr. Sano, called The Divided Mind. He basically explains that there is an influence from the mind to the body that leads to a look, there is definitely a psychological element to chronic illness like this. But there's a big but. You cannot just do one thing and expect huge changes, you know? You have to really, of course, read that book. Really, it probably is very interesting. It will help you towards your recovery, absolutely. But don't expect to read this book, do some of the, you know, I don't know, like the lightning process, and expect a full recovery. You know, you have to do everything, and you have to give it time as well. It takes a lot of patience. Fuck the establishment. Yeah, I'm getting more and more towards that way, to be honest. Just the way I went to our island last week, and the way people live is very different. It's very much more slow paced, and just most people you meet on a day-to-day basis, usually don't like their job. They usually are not a fan of their life. They're waiting until something else happens before they can, you know, feel happy. They're waiting for the next holiday or whatever. Just generally, I think the way we're living is wrong. Today I paid for an access to Anxiety Centre's membership page. It was about £25 per year. It's filled with information on anxiety. Much of the stress comes from worrying about symptoms. Obviously, yeah, people do I used to overanalyze certain symptoms if they cropped up, and what does it actually achieve? It actually achieves nothing. You have to really look at everything you do and everything you kind of focus on and go, is this actually helping me? Am I actually getting anywhere for this energy expenditure? I do better when I eat small meals throughout the day, but don't have energy to prepare meals. Because besides fruit, do you have any tips for easy meals? Like some snacks I had today were like a new favorite of mine is red pepper and hummus. The question is, do you believe that after establishing back the mind-body connection, sort of, did you lead to recovery? Well, it's absolutely a huge part of recovery. You know, when I got my body in that calm state and kind of was not just so focused on inner dialogues and stuff, and was actually listening to my body as much as, you know, more than my mind actually in the beginning. It definitely was a huge part in my recovery. Do you still go to bed early? What do you do during the day now? Well, I was at college today and we were doing fitness. But yeah, I always try and go to bed. In Ireland, I went to bed at 2 o'clock a couple of nights just because we were socialising a lot. But when I'm at home, I never go to bed after 10 o'clock. And I try and get off technology an hour before. And when I'm with my girlfriend, sometimes we go to bed even earlier and just, you know, have just intimacy or massaging each other or whatever. And it really helps unwind. How much smoking worsening AFS? I heard Dr. Burr say don't quit until you're recovered. What? How could what? Okay, I have no knowledge on the subject. I haven't smoked, but it doesn't make sense why you would want to. Maybe it's because of that anxiety you get from withdrawing from an addiction. I don't know, but maybe that's it. Maybe that is it. But obviously, smoking is not a good thing, is it? Generally, I started a YouTube channel. I'm going to be using your tips and record my improvement. Awesome, Kathy. Yeah, I feel like we should set up some sort of group based around recovery, as conversations can be very uplifting, but all these the forums are toxic. I used to, I probably sat on them for a year or two, maybe a bit more actually. Do you have any symptoms at all anymore? No. The only symptom I have that's come back again recently is not to do with my illness, but my fucking sinuses. Do my head in. I don't know why it's so bad. I must be allergic to dust mites or something. I don't know what it is. I went a good year without any nasal problems and it's come back. Maybe it's, I don't know if it's come back since I got mono, but I don't know. I also have the book, The Soul Art of Not Giving a Fuck. I care too much. Yeah, you probably do. I know. Also, one aspect, I was really in a positive mood today, for example. Really good mood, feeling great. Had like over an hour of exercise, was feeling pumped, like wasn't tired. And I sat and watched the fucking news for half an hour and I felt like it was ruining my mood. Like, if you have an illness or you're not in the best place, don't fucking listen to any world news at all. Just focus on your own life. Can't fucking stress it enough. What do you mean, Alex? Did you have symptoms before you started exercising? What, at the very beginning, during like the end stages of recovery? By the time I was exercising, all my symptoms were pretty much gone. How strongly do you feel about veganism? Do you get down because of what's happening to animals? Do you watch a lot of vegan content? No, I don't watch a lot of vegan content. Obviously, I talk about it in my day-to-day life. I have debates sometimes, but I don't watch any of the horrible shit anymore because it just ruins the way I feel. And what have I achieved by doing that? I am vegan. I've changed people in my life to vegan. There are people through my YouTube channel that have become vegan. You know, it's not like I'm doing fuck all in regards to that. But at the same time, I can't take the weight of that on my shoulders. And if you've got recovery, you really need to ignore it as well. If you're recovering, you need to ignore everything that's taking you down, because you just don't have the energy to just give it out to things that, what does it achieve really if you watch a horrific video? Have you heard of the film Heal? Also, do you have any amazing books to recommend? What other one you mentioned earlier? This is very, 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 very interesting for anyone, even if you're not chronically ill. It really teaches you a lot about yourself. Well, you can pick up things in this book and you start to question your intent behind reactions you have to things. So let's say you, I don't know where to start. See if I can get a random page. For example, if you're somebody that is an emotional person, a sensitive person, and you're kind of ridiculed for it, or you feel like that isn't how you should be, and you start turning yourself into someone that's all like tough and or you know, you're making an idolized image of yourself that isn't really you, that can go against yourself and cause self-alienation. It's just really interesting. I find I have really low blood sugar in the morning, but cortisol is too low to leave bed and make food. Any ideas for good breakfast that are quick or can be prepared overnight? Overnight oats, if you're not allergic to oats or sensitive to oats. Obviously gluten-free ones. By the way, I haven't heard of the film Heal. Overnight oats, you can do them overnight, and just fruit as well, like a little platter of maybe bananas or grapes or whatever. A few nuts, you know, something very easy. Have you seen the unmasking videos by Norwegian? No. Branningan, keep a snack by your bed, an apple and some nuts. I used to care too much about the wrong stuff, like didn't focus enough on my life and those around me, but got really worked up over social issues. Honestly, getting worked up over social issues is just a fucking waste of your energy. Even when you're recovered, it's like you just bubble for no reason, really. Unless you're actively doing something against it. Like I get in debates all the time. I have sometimes very politically incorrect views. But at the end of the day, what have I really achieved by having a debate with someone? I'm always open to changing my mind, I guess, but just getting worked up about it to the point where you're like in fight or flight and stuff like that, I just don't see the point, especially during recovery. You said you have sinus problems. I feel like my sinus is always blocked since I got money. Yeah? Can you hear it? It's pretty bad at the moment. I tell you what, I did 4 days like pretty much all vegan and it was starting to go away, so I might actually be sensitive to something else I'm eating. Can you do rebounding on a yoga ball? Would that be considered exercise to be done later in recovery? What, sit on it and bouncing up and down? I don't think that would be considered later in recovery. That could be something you do now. But, of course, you check in with your body a few days afterwards to see how you feel. How long did it take for your social anxiety to go away? Let's say from when you said you were really going to get over it and make changes. Probably like a year and a half, a bit more. What's the name of the book you just showed? I can't see. The name of the book is Neurosis and Human Growth, The Struggle Towards Self-Realization by Karen Horney. Yeah, don't watch the news. It's so fucking seriously. You know, I used to get really worked up over so many different things, and I still do sometimes. And honestly, what have I achieved by doing that? It's what you always have to do is if you get worked up over something, or you're swallowing in self-pity, or you're doing depression, or you're just, you know, all these different things when it comes to recovery, ask yourself, is this helping me go towards recovery? Obviously, I'm not telling you if you feel depressed to just block it out. I'm just saying, don't wallow in it. I had my spine cracked yesterday and felt about an inch taller afterwards. Do you think posture and structural imbalances could keep me in fight or flight mode? Well, I absolutely believe that when your posture is off and your breathing's off, that hugely impacts fight or flight and how you feel. What are your thoughts about tinnitus? I've had it for months. Also, whenever I have a friend around and he stays around for hours, I go in stress state where I feel wired and can't relax after. That's exactly how I felt if I interacted with anyone. And I know it's not the best thing. As I'm starting to realize now, isolation is not a good thing, especially for things like depersonalization. But during recovery, you don't really have a. I didn't have a choice really because when I wasn't isolated, I was stressed. So it's about making the most of your time, recovering, then getting back out there. If you know what I mean. One sec. Yoga should be a really good approach for posture and nerve relief. It helps me. That's cool. One thing I would probably do this going back now, but I didn't know about it at the time. Is I have a Theracane and other massage equipment that really helps with like releasing like muscle tension and correcting posture. Also a foam roller. I do this and I bend my back over it, keep that position for a while. Yoga helps unblock the sinuses, but just for a few minutes. Yeah, there's an exercise where you breathe in and then breathe out and then hold your breath and walk for like 30 seconds and it starts to go away. Last week, I'm diagnosed in Amsterdam hospital. They say I have CFS. The therapy is everyday sport and behavior therapy, they say, and I have to work less. Do you believe it can help? Behavior therapy is not going to harm your recovery, that's what I will say, but at the same time, I'm not going to tell you that. Depends how serious your CFS is. Is it just you feel tired and that's it? Then maybe like a bit of activity can help you, but I will say that you need to start off very lightly if that's the case. But for people that have been chronically ill for a few years and they really are just knackered, that's their body saying to rest. My personal belief. And I think that not listening to your body is what you probably got you in this mistake in the first place. Are you still in the stream, Stefan? Did you take supplements when your diet was restricted? Not crazy fish oil ones, just multivitamins, vitamin C, calcium. No, I didn't. I took vitamin D, especially through the winter months, every day. 10,000 UIs. Don't know if it's a bit too much, but that's what I took. I took zinc on occasion, probably once or twice a week. I took probiotics in the form of water kefir. That was probably it. I remember I did take an algae-based DHA EPA supplement, but it was so like it was like £1 a tablet. I just didn't bother in the end. I probably bought one or 2 months worth and then stopped after that. Jack. If I let that dog in my room for more than 2 seconds, he runs and pisses on something. Did you have any supplement sensitivity while sick? I know many people have supplement sensitivities, especially to B12 when recovering. I don't think I had any supplement sensitivities. Do I still take them now? It's hard to say with these supplements, you know. Did they help? I think so. That's all I can say. You know, with early nights, I can guarantee that they really helped. Or going gluten-free and dairy-free really helps. But with supplements, I'm just like, don't know. Does the dog pissing in your room create a fight or flight response in you? Yeah, it actually does. Makes me pissed off. Oh yeah, I need to. I'm just writing a list of videos I want to get done in the net up until this weekend. Yeah, no, I've tried those Meti things, didn't do anything for me. It's inflammation in my sinuses. Oh my fucking god. Okay, guys, oh shit. Okay, something's pretty bad has come up, and I'm gonna have to go. Yeah, no, water fast can be beneficial in certain phases in recovery. Yeah, I have to go, guys. Something serious. I'll speak to you later. If you, when the video goes live, just leave any comments and I'll reply to them in the message. All right, see you later, guys.